awful lot of water to have you be without water. The human body is mostly made of water, but it does change over a person's lifetime. Okay, so the older you get, the less water you are. Babies are about 75% water, so if you have a baby at your house, that baby is 3/4 water. That's a long time.
Yeah.
The human body is mostly made of water, but it does change over a person's lifetime. I thought we just said that. There we go. Adults are between 60 and 55% water. And then when you get to an old lady like me, you're only about 45% water. So I'm about half water, and the rest is other stuff. Maybe that grandma's a little older. We can always hope. So where is all that water hiding? In your belly. Can you carry half? Can you carry half of that water in your belly? Well, let's write down a few things. So you think in your blood, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's part of it. So where is the water?
Inside of you.
I know, but where inside? You said blood. Okay, any other ideas? Inside you where?
Everywhere. Everywhere except for your skin.
So when you say everywhere, what are we talking about? Your muscles?
Yeah.
Anything else?
Your arms. And your
Okay, I'll put bones here.
and
That-
everywhere.
Bones? This guy says everywhere.
Except your skin.
Well, I think you're gonna be surprised about where all that water is. Let's check it out. 85% of your brain is water. Is that crazy? So, way more than half of your brain is water. It's the wettest organ in the human body. Your kidneys are 80%. Okay, your kidneys are back here, and it filters out the waste products from the rest of your body, and it removes it through the urine. Your lungs are 79% water, so they're almost as much as your kidneys. So way more than half, right? So you have to have that liquid to make everything work. Your heart is 75% water. Water helps your heart maintain a regular heartbeat. If you didn't have enough water, then your heart wouldn't be what it's supposed to. Your muscles, okay, that would be your arms and so on, are 70% water. Water helps muscles get rid of lactic acid when you exercise. How many of you ever exercised or you ran or you worked really hard and then your legs hurt? Or your arms hurt? And you think, oh, that hurts so bad. That's the lactic acid that's building up after you exercise. And so if you drink, well, you're lucky. And if you have if you drink a lot of water, that will help that go away faster. Your skin is 70% water. Water keeps your skin lubricated so it doesn't crack. That's what you were talking about, the cracking. Yes? How many of you had really, really, really dry lips? And it hurts, and you keep licking them, and they just get worse and worse and worse, right?
That didn't happen to me. I just had chaff.
Well, same thing. So you have to put stuff on them, right? You have to put stuff on your chapped lips so that they
Chapstick.
Absolutely. Except sometimes with the chapstick, you know what, that causes trouble too, because then you lick it off. And then it makes it worse. So you have to be really careful when you put the chapstick on, not to lick it off. How many of you licked that chapstick off and it was worse? Yes, I've had that same problem myself. And it's not very fun to have those chapped lips. Okay, let's see about this. Your blood is 50% water, so that was a good guess. But it has to be thin enough that it can go through all of those little tiny capillaries and veins and things. And your bones, even your hard old bones, have 25% water. And it helps the bones help create the red blood cells to go through your
So I'm mostly right.
You're mostly right? Well, I hope so. And your teeth are only 8% water. teeth have the least amount of any tissue in the body. And if you feel your teeth, they're hard, aren't they? They aren't like your muscles, and they aren't like, your bones are hard, but they're hard to feel in between your muscles and things. But your teeth, you can actually click on. How many of you have to go to the dentist to have a filling or something?
Me.
Okay. And do they drill and drill and drill? Yes. Not very pleasant. But that's how tough your teeth are. They have to use a drill in order to, yes, I see you're missing a few.
I'm missing too.
Well, you guys are all okay for your teeth, that's fine. Water helps every piece of your body work, so it's important to stay hydrated. Are there any questions? No?
How do skin have water?
How do I do what?
How does skin have water too?
Skin, well, you have all sorts of, feel how soft it is. Feel your skin, feel how soft it is. Okay? Now feel your hair. Does it feel the same? No.
Because your hair definitely doesn't have.
Well, it would have a little in from your shampoo and conditioner and stuff, but nothing like your skin. Have you ever been outside and you've been burned by the wind and it hurts on your face, and mom has to put lotion and things on your face? Do you know that happen?
Not that much.
Not that much? You're smart, your mom's taking care of you when you go outside. You guys had that happen when you had your cheeks all chapped and it hurts?
I've only had my lips chapped.
Well, you're lucky. You're very lucky.
They're triple. They're chapped right now.
So, for this activity that you're going to do, and you're going to do some of this, in fact, you're going to do a lot of it at home. You're going to need a reusable water bottle, which I have for you, and you're going to have a P chart, which I have for you, and we're going to kind of talk about that next. Oh, I'm glad you did. I don't know if we'll need more than one to try or not. All right. Now, if your body is made up of so much water, okay, your brain, your lungs, your kidneys, your heart, what do you think you need to do to keep everything running smoothly? Okay, you need to drink water, specifically. But are there other things that you can drink? Yeah?
No. I saw something that hydrates you.
What?
It's a V8 and two fruit or vegetable is together.
Ah, so let's just kind of make a little list, and then we can talk about whether they are helpful or not. Okay, so you said water. Of course, that's the biggie. We all want to have you drink water. That's the most important. What else do you drink? What do you have on a daily basis? Give me one. Pop? Okay.
Juice. Yeah, same juice.
Okay.
Milk.
No. Good. Okay. Anything else?
Tea.
Tea? Okay. Anything else?
Chocolate milk.
There you go. Chocolate milk. Or probably over Christmas and the holidays, you would drink a lot of hot chocolate.
Oh.
Right? With marshmallows and everything. Okay, what else do you drink?
Strawberry milk.
Strawberry. Wow. You're fancy at your house.
No, I drink that mostly at school.
Oh. They have strawberry milk at school?
For a while, they did like most of the beginning of the school year.
Well, how come is that? Okay, anything else that
And
you
then
think
they
of?
just stopped making it and started just chocolate milk and milk.
Well,
Water.
darn
I
that.
realized it's something on the TV.
Yeah, that's a little water drop. Can you
Yeah,
see
and
that?
hands with the suit on. How can
He's got a doctor suit on.
How can,
Well,
how can a water drop have a suit on?
well, because he's fancy. Okay, now when do you think, okay, you just ran a race. and you're hot, and you're sweaty, do you want a cup of hot chocolate? Why not?
Yes.
Milk doesn't sound good, does it, after you've run a hard race, or even if you swam a lot, or any kind of sports?
Water.
Milk is usually not the thing that you want right away.
Water.
Okay, water is what you would like. When do you think it would be appropriate to drink like a Gatorade? When do you think that would be
Like
appropriate?
after a really long race, in the middle of a race.
Okay,
Because they're like football. It's like soccer. You can use it when it's soccer.
okay. Usually, if you work out a lot, you can, are we having trouble?
It just goes to sleep sometimes.
Oh, you're helping me, thank you. What do you suppose is in this besides blue coloring?
Sugar.
Lots of sugar, okay? Lots of sugar. There are 34 grams of sugar in this.
Wow, that's super.
And there are also 260 milligrams of sodium. So it's salt and sugar to kind of balance you out after you've been exercising.
That's super.
When you sweat, you lose salt.
There's very a lot.
So the salt is to replace what you've lost when you sweat, when you're running the race, okay? And the sugar is to give you that energy until you can get something else in your body, okay? Now water doesn't have anything in it.
Yeah.
No sugar, no salt, no, just water.
Just water. We
Yep,
need
just water.
Water's a mix.
This
of
juice-
hydrogen and oxygen.
Read that label for me.
Of what?
Have Mom help you read that label. You're gonna look at sugar, and you're gonna look at salt,
15 milligrams of sugar.
16 grams of sugar, salt. 2 servings, that's right. Okay, Mom's brought up a really good point. Look on your item, it can be more than for 1 serving. So a lot of times, like this Gatorade, you know, you think, oh yeah, that's a nice big bottle, but it's 2 servings. Now this one actually says 1 serving,
That's cool.
which is surprising. The bigger one, I think, is 2 or 3. Okay, so how many servings do you have? 1. And how many sugars? 70 grams of sugar? Sugar, 16 grams. Okay. What did you have? He has a soda.
30 grams of sugar.
Yeah, that's a lot. That, yeah, that's a lot of sugar. And we all love sugar. Don't we all love sugar? I love sugar. Love sugar. Okay, how many sugars do you have? 4 grams? That doesn't have a lot of sugar in it, does it? This is also a milk product, so it would have milk in it. Okay, what do you guys have going on?
90 milligrams.
90 milligrams of sugar,
Sodium.
sodium,
Yeah.
and how much sugar?
90 grams. 60 grams of sugar.
Sugar. And how many servings? 1 or 2? 1. Okay. We also
Wow.
did a little research. How many of you have ever drinking one of these energy drinks? Hopefully.
Why would it say
They are clear full of not only sugar, but also of caffeine. This one can has 160 milligrams of caffeine in it. And a cup of coffee only has anywhere from 45 to 90, depending on what strength and how you brew it and so on. Tea runs around 40, 45. So this can has like 4 times the amount of caffeine that a cup of coffee would have. That's pretty scary. And I know a lot of people that drink those to stay awake or to keep them going during the day or whatever. But should kids be drinking that? No, that's really not. In fact, a lot of them say right on it, don't let anybody under like 12 or something consume it. There's a little note right at the bottom of
I
that.
want
So
to know
read what
why
that
kids
says.
can't have them.
Well, because caffeine is a drug.
Ew.
And when I drink caffeine, I can't drink caffeine at all because it makes my heart go like this.
And then that's too fast.
And then it is, and it makes me feel like I'm having a heart attack, and it's scary. And it's not worth having caffeine to feel like that. It makes you really feel anxious. A lot of people can tolerate caffeine. I'm just not one of them. What does it say, Christina?
It says consume responsibly, not recommended for children, people sensitive to caffeine, pregnant women, or women who are nursing.
Okay, so it comes with a warning. Now, not a lot of people pay attention to that, but nonetheless. So, you know, juice might be good after it's been hot as a day. My mother always used to say to me, whatever you drink, because I like to drink pop. How many of you like to drink pop? Okay, most of us do.
I never drinking pop.
Well, that's good, you should.
Soda.
It rots your teeth out.
Soda is pop.
Oh.
We hardly ever have it.
I said
The truth comes out over there, buddy.
I also
So-
said I've never had pop because I thought it was a kind of soda, but it was
No,
soda.
like soda, like Coca-Cola is
Every
every. If it's carbonated, it's considered soda, okay? But my mother always used to say, okay, if you have this can of pop, whether it's Diet Coke, whether it's Coca-Cola, whether it's 7-Up, whether it's orange, it doesn't matter. You should drink 2 equivalent cans of water in addition to this one. So, in other words, you don't want to have this be your whole diet, or this be your whole diet, or milk be your whole diet, or caffeine be your whole diet. You've got to moderate. The government has sent out all sorts of reports, and you've all heard this. I don't know if you kids have it. The adults have. You're to drink 8 fluid ounces glasses a day. So 8 cups, right? 8 ounces is a cup. So you're supposed to drink 8 cups of water a day. In addition to all of these other things that you like. But if you drink your 8 cups of water, chances are you're not going to be thirsty for this, or that. Now, 8 cups of water is quite a bit, right?
Yeah.
So this one, I think, has 16 ounces in it. Aren't these 16 ounces? I'm not saying that.
Probably close to that.
Yeah, 16.9, it's just a hair over 16 ounces. So this is basically 2 cups of water. So you would need to drink 4 of these bottles a day to get the water that you're supposed to get. How many of us do that? Sadly, not nearly enough. Okay? Now, that
I don't
brings
do
us,
that at all.
you should. Now these water bottles that I'm going to send home with you, I believe are 32. And that is 4. Okay, 4 cups. So if you drink 2 of those of water, you're getting your water. Now, like I said, how many of us drink this much water in a day? Seriously. Good for you. If you can.
Sometimes, like very little times, but sometimes I do.
Well, it's something to work at, right? Now, that's part of what our activity.
Most of the time, it's in school and I get really, really full, and I don't want to drink anymore.
Well, now that brings us to another thing. How do you know you need to drink anything? How does your body let you know?
The color of tea.
No, that's not to let you know how do you feel when you need to drink?
When you have a sore throat.
Okay, sometimes when you have a sore throat.
Thirsty.
Thirsty. If you're thirsty and you think, gotta have a drink of water, okay? Your body's letting you know, it's like, hello, it's time to drink. Okay, now some of us don't make really smart choices when we're so thirsty. We go right to this or to that. What we should do is go to the water first and then see how we feel after. I do that a lot. I'll drink a cup of water and I'll think, okay, now I can have my Coke. Okay? But I have to drink the water first in order to
The
get
board turned off again.
It's okay, it'll go back. All right, how else do you know that you might need to drink? Okay, when you're sick and you get a fever, your body uses an awful lot of fluid when you've got a fever. Yeah. Any others?
I had a runny nose.
And did you feel like you needed to drink?
I don't know.
You don't know? Well, that's real. How many of you have had, like, sick belly? You had to throw up, and you had diarrhea and stuff. Do you get really, really thirsty when that happens? Yeah?
I
That's
had
your-
throw up, but also diarrhea, but they happen different times.
Well, that's good, you're lucky. But if you are having problems like that, then you should even drink more than you would normally because your body is expelling it and you need to go. Now, I handed you out this nifty neato chart that kind of lets you know what happens. Okay, not too many of us have urinals in the house. Urinals are the weird looking things in the boys' bathroom. I try not to hang out in the boys' bathroom too often, but once in a while. So we're gonna go with the second one, low flow toilet colors. Okay, if your urine is clear and you can't even tell you've gone to the bathroom, chances are that you drank too much. Now, does that happen often? No. How many of you actually have clear watercolored pee in the toilet?
I had sometimes.
Sometimes?
Most,
Me too, sometimes, but boy, not often, right? It doesn't happen
but
often.
mostly it's the darkest on my shirt.
See, and guess what that means?
What?
You need to drink more
And
water.
then after that, I'm just like, I need to drink more water.
Yes, you do. If it's pale yellow, it indicates that you're well hydrated. You drink water only when you're thirsty. If it's light yellow, that means optimum hydration. You drink water only when it's yellow. If it's pale honey color, it indicates that you are currently hydrated, but you're gonna need to drink some more water soon. I would think most of us are kind of hanging out between the pale honey and the yellow. Okay, yellow and cloudy pee indicates that your body is starting to get dehydrated and you need to drink more water. Dark yellow indicates that your body is dehydrated. You really must drink more water. And orange yellow can indicate severe dehydration. Drink more water and contact a doctor if you feel ill. Now, when you get dehydrated, all of these things that normally work with water, your brain, your heart, your lungs, your kidneys, your muscles, your skin, all of those things stop working a lot. They don't stop working, but they don't work as well as they should. What?
And your blood.
And your blood. Yes, if you don't have any water, your blood gets way thick and it can't go through your system, which is really tough. Okay, now let's look at this other little PowerPoint for just a sec. Okay, this is over and under hydration. So if you're overhydrated, that means you drank too much, and if you're under hydration, it means you haven't drank enough. Okay? What do you fellows know how to read? Read that one.
Our body works the best when they're properly dehydrated.
Good job. Okay, because of this, our bodies have developed ways to let us know if it is over or under hydrated. Let's explore dehydration first. Have you guys ever had to take any kids to the hospital because they were dehydrated? No? No, thank goodness, right? Dehydration occurs, well, we don't need that there. Dehydration occurs when the body isn't getting enough water. These are the symptoms of dehydration. Now keep in mind what they are. Nausea, dizziness, headache, feeling thirsty, dry mouth, dark colored pee, lack of sweat when hot, no tears when crying. Those are a lot of symptoms, aren't they? Okay, now remember those because we're going to do a little thing here in a second. Dehydration can happen anywhere, but dehydration is particularly common during playing sports or exercising, when water is hard to access, at high altitudes, during hot weather, during extremely cold weather, when someone has an illness that causes them to throw up or have diarrhea. I was hiking down in Moab in the summer, and we took water with us, but we didn't take enough, okay? And we were out there in the middle of nowhere. We walked about 14 miles, and we were on our way back. And my friend that I was with, apparently she didn't drink as much as I did, but she got really sick. She got nauseous, she was sweating, cold sweat, really feeling awful. And it was all because she didn't drink enough water for the conditions, it was too hot. And there's signs all over the
Very
place.
hot weather, yep.
Yes, it was like 104 or something, and there were big signs everywhere that said, you must drink at least a quart of water an hour if you're gonna hike in this hot weather. Well, we didn't do it, and she was sick. She was sick for 2 days because she was just so dehydrated. Now let's look at overhydration. Overhydration occurs when the body gets too much water, which, like I said, that doesn't happen very often. But look at the first 3 symptoms: nausea, dizziness, and headache. Does that sound familiar? Yeah? Look at this. What are the first 3 signs for dehydration? Dizziness and headache, right? So they're the same. So you have to kind of figure out what else is happening here. Okay, if you're overhydrated, you're running to the bathroom every 10 or 15 minutes because you just have to go to the bathroom back, right? What I hate is when I go to the movie and I have a water and stuff for supper, and maybe I get a pop and some popcorn, and then halfway through the movie, guess what I have to do? Yes, I have to get up and go to the bathroom because it's just serious. Because I have too much water in there. If your pee is clear, if you've lost energy, and if you are sweating heavily, that means you are over dehydrated. It can happen anywhere. It's particularly common when playing long sports games, distance races, or extremely hot weather. Over and under hydration have a lot of symptoms, and they have a lot of symptoms in common. Let's compare and contrast the two to see the difference. Okay, now we know where they overlap. Nausea, dizziness, and headache are the same for both. And then this is how you add what's happening with dehydration and hydration. Is this being moved? All right, so if you have a friend that's acting weird, either overhydrated or not hydrated enough, get some help. Get an adult to help you, okay? Talk to a coach. Stop what you're doing. If you're out running or if you're playing baseball like this little gal is, stop the activity. Ask how they're feeling. Tell a teacher, leader, coach, or parent. Most people are pretty careful about their kids playing sports. They watch that pretty closely. If they get sick or if something new is happening. Now, part of your homework for tonight is to try and figure out, there was a little, okay, you may want to write a few of these down. Let me back up there. Signs of dehydration and signs of overhydration in your little booklet. Okay, this is, can we move this thing? Oh, look at that. Except that's, I don't know how to put it. We'll put it up here. Okay, so you have dehydration and overhydration, and then where they meet in the middle are symptoms of both. Okay, there's a little spot right here that says healthy hydration.
Page 4.
It is page 4. So dehydration, write a few of them down. You don't have to do them all, just so that you can kind of talk to mom and dad about this when you get home. So signs of dehydration and signs of overhydration. Overhydration is over here, dehydration is there. Give you a few minutes to write a few down. You might have to help, Brad. There you go. How are we doing here? You doing okay? Great. So while you're writing this down, kind of put your brain to work too. What have you drank in the last day? So say from yesterday to today. What have you had to drink? Water and soda? Mostly water. Okay. What have you drank in the last day? You said V8 juice.
I didn't do that yesterday.
What did you have yesterday?
Apple juice and water.
Okay.
All of us could have had water.
Did you have water yesterday?
I don't know.
You don't really know. It is, right about today. You had some water today?
It's kind of hard because I used to hate water and now, like, hate milk. I love milk and I hate milk and I love milk again. So, like, when I got loving milk again, it just stopped me drinking water.
Well,
What do you think is going to red bottle?
A lot of water. Most of it's still from the floor.
oh, here.
There we
See,
go.
there you go. Now you know.
Yeah.
Now you know. Okay, what did you drink
It smells
yesterday?
on the carpet.
Oh. Did you drink water yesterday?
Why?
Yes. Okay. Did you have apple juice too? Good. Good. You don't have to write them all, just write a few. Okay, this little page right here, number 3.
Every day.
Okay, for this week, I need you to keep track of how much water you drink to see if you can get a cup. Mom will help you measure, so you know how much 8 ounces is, so you can mark off if you drink that much water, okay? Or write in the cup what you did have. If you have milk, put an M, okay? If you have chocolate milk, put CN. If you have strawberry milk, put SN, okay? You don't have to write the whole thing out, you can just abbreviate it, okay? But keep track this week of what you've had. Now, well, okay, they've got broken out for beverages, so like this would be water, this would be pop, this would be milk, this would be whatever. That's what you want. And if you need more, you can use an extra sheet of paper. But I want you to seriously keep track of what you put in your body and keep track of what comes out. Okay? And take your little chart in there, have Mom hang it in the bathroom, so you can check out where you are down here. If you're peeing up these 3 colors, you're probably okay. But if you're getting down into this stuff, then you
Way a lot.
really need to drink your water, right? So this is a perfect indicator. Your body's smart. It will let you know if you're drinking enough or if you're not drinking enough, judging by what you put in here and what comes out down here, okay? So if you have this little chart in the bathroom, you can check it out. And you tell Mom and Dad, they need to check themselves out too, okay? Because it's really good to know where you are on that chart. Now, what would cause you to have pee that isn't this color, but it might look like a rainbow?
I don't know.
It's scary. It really is. It's a scary thing. Let me pass out some crayons. I think there's a place in there. You guys can share those. All right. My son called me, oh, it's been years ago. And he said, oh my gosh, Mom, I'm dying. I said, really? He said, yes, my urine is red. And I said, your urine is red? He said, yes, looks like blood in the toilet. And I said, well, what did you eat? Did you have beets yesterday? Or earlier today? Oh yeah, we went to this place and I had a salad and I had beets. And so the beets had colored the urine red, like pink. And he was just panicked. Okay, so tracking the water going in and out of your bodies can help us stay healthy. One way to do this is to monitor the color of our pee. Pee contains waste that our kidneys have removed from the body. Now remember, your kidneys were like 75% water, right? So anything that needs to be out of your system, your kidneys will flush it out, and it'll take that waste, and then when you pee, you get rid of lots of waste. Because our pee can change colors based on what we eat and our health. Let's explore what causes people to pee the color of the rainbow. Okay, clear. What did we decide? If you're clear, what's happening?
You're overhydrated.
You're overhydrated. You're drinking too much. But don't let that stop you from continuing to hydrate. I mean, you can slow down a little bit, right? You don't want to just stop and not hydrate anymore, do you? No.
What did you say?
I said, you don't, I said, if you're overhydrated, you wanna just stop and not drink anymore? No.
Cause then you're just gonna it's just gonna turn back to dark.
Yeah, the dehydration, that's exactly right. You kind of need to have a happy balance there with what's going in and what's going out. That's why this chart is so important, so you know where you are and what you need to drink. Okay? So if you're clear, you're overhydrated. If you're pink or toward red, you could have eaten some beets. Also, some medications will sometimes turn your urine pink. Red, eating blackberries, or actually any kind of dark colored berries will do that some, or even blood in the urine. And if you have blood in the urine, you'll know it. Your body's going to give you some other signs. You'll have some pain, you'll have some fever, you'll have some other things going on just besides the color of the urine, right? So if you have something serious like this going on, best tell mom. There's something wrong.
I don't know what the urine is.
Urine is pee.
Oh,
It's a fancy word for pee. Okay? Does that help?
yeah.
Okay. If it's orange, if you've eaten a lot of carrots, or if you've been on some medication, that can sometimes turn you orange.
Orange is
I'm sorry, what?
orange your favorite?
Rainbow?
Oh,
If it's orange regular, then you're not drinking enough, man. Yes, if you eat a lot of carrots, you're gonna have orange. Carrots are great for coloring things. It's the carotene in it. Awesome.
I've never eat carrots.
If it's bright yellow, you're bordering on some dehydration.
We know that.
Light yellow means you're in pretty good shape. You're hydrated. Things are looking good. You just need to keep drinking, keep eating, doing all those things. Now, this is a new one for me. Green. It can be caused from food dyes, infections, or medications. I would imagine some sort of urinary tract infection would make you have a green tinge. I'm guessing, I'm not a doctor. But I would think that the infections would be part of that. If you ate, let's say you made Christmas cookies for Christmas, and you iced them with dark green icing. And you ate like 10 of those suckers, okay? Cookie Monster. All of that green dye has got to go somewhere. Where's it going to go? It's going to go right out through your kidneys and right your bladder. So if you eat anything that has a tremendous amount of dye in it, your urine will be tinged. Okay, blue, again, food dyes, hypercalcemia, which I have no idea what that is, and medications.
Too much calcium.
Too much calcium. So maybe drinking too much milk. I don't know if that would be a cause of that or not. That would be something to look into.
How can white make blue?
Well, calcium, I don't know, we should look that up. And violet means kidney failure or purple urine bag syndrome, and I have no clue what that was either. Okay, hypercalcemia is high calcium in the blood serum. I'm just trying to see what causes it. If you're having blue, you're going to have abdominal pain, bone pain, confusion, depression, and weaknesses, which sounds really not good. I'm just not understanding what's causing it. I've never heard of such a thing. Do you know what causes it?
What?
I don't know. I have never seen blue urine, and I've never seen white urine. Have any of you adults?
No.
I haven't either. I just don't think. What? My advice to you is if you have anything that you can't, like carrots or beets, if you don't have some reason why your urine's that color, you need to talk to mom, and then she can maybe help you think And if it's a real serious problem, you should probably go to the doctor and take a sample. You know, that's one of the first things they do when you go to the doctor, is they have you pee in a cup so they can see what's going on, because they can tell so much by the color, proteins in it, that sort of thing. Black is black water fever and medication. I have not heard of that either. What should you do if your pee is an unusual color? Think about what you drank recently. Tell a parent or a teacher. If the color stays or if it hurts to pee, talk with the doctor.
What about rainbow?
Well, we just went over all of those colors. I don't think you're gonna be a rainbow color.
Well, what if you eat all of those things?
Well, hopefully it'll level out and just stay yellow. I don't think you're gonna have a rainbow come out.
That's like Harry Potter.
It would be awesome, but
Yeah.
No, I had to make a mix of each color together.
you know what happens if you mix 4 or more of one color? What color do you get?
Brown.
There you go. So your rainbow would just end up being brown. Gross. I'd rather have yellow and light yellow. All right.
Actually, there is no brown actually.
So did you get a cause for each of these?
Oh,
You were supposed to color these. This Mom's got it. Were you guys? Have you been? Oh look! Wow! Good for you. You did a great job. Have you got yours colored?
where is it?
Right here. You're supposed to color those, and then you're gonna write down your favorite cause of why that's happening. All right. So from this lesson, what do you suppose your job is for this next week? You're certainly going to pay attention to how much you can put in and how much goes out, right? And the color of your pee. Mom, you'll want to wash these before they use them. Now that, sure, these are 32 ounces. Would these be 32 ounces? It says 50, but I don't think that's a 50 ounce.
I love these kind of water.
I love those kind of water bottles too. How look at that?
Thank you.
So, you're gonna keep track of what you drink, the different kinds of things you drink. On this page, you're gonna list, Mom, you can help these guys, right? Write what they have, juice, water, milk, whatever, and then you're gonna mark it out how many you have. And kind of keep track of what you're eating. Keep in mind that you're supposed to drink 8 cups of water a day.
Oh,
It is really hard. I always feel pretty good if I can get one of these down a day. I feel pretty good about things, but there are some people out there, bless their hearts, that can just drink that water like none other. You can also put, and I got this from a nutritionalist. She said you could use a little packet of Crystal Light, or, did I still list from you? A little package of Crystal Light, or something, that Neo, that you can drop the drops in the water, or something if your kids need to have.
oh, should we see if anyone has questions yet? Does it say questions?
It does. Do you have questions?
Not yet.
Don't think about it. You think about it, you'll come up with it. But she said that those little packets and things were of no consequence if it gets water.
Powdered bread.
Now, one thing you need to understand,
Powdered.
just a second. One thing that you need to be aware of is that anything besides water has to go through the digestive system. Okay? So when you drink this container of water, it will diffuse right out of your stomach into your bloodstream and go to where it needs to go, right? Doesn't have to be processed, it just goes through. Anything else that has color, that has sodium, that has sugar, that has carbonation, that has calcium, milk, any of those things has to go through the stomach and actually be digested. So it has to go through the whole broken down process before it goes into the small intestines and then out. So that's one thing about water. It goes in quick and comes out quick.